From the heart of downtown Kokomo, I'm April Thatcher for Kgov2, and you are watching News Brief. Here are your local headlines. The City of Kokomo has been awarded $1.33 million for demolition of uninhabitable structures throughout the city. Lieutenant Governor Sue Ellspermann announced the award on Thursday. Funding is through Indiana's Hardest Hit Fund Blight Elimination Program. It provides an opportunity for local units of government in all 92 counties to compete for funding to eliminate blighted, vacant, and abandoned houses and decrease foreclosures. The money is part of a program overseen by the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority. A total of $75 million is being distributed statewide. The City of Kokomo was the only unit of government in Howard County to apply for funding. Kokomo Mayor Greg Goodnight joined Prospect League officials and new Kokomo team owner Michael Zimmerman to announce that Kokomo will join the Prospect League with a new team for the 2015 season. Let's take a look.
I am extremely proud to announce that baseball's Prospect League is expanding in 2015, and the league has chosen Kokomo to be the home of its 12th team. The team will play their home games for the 2015 season at Kokomo's Municipal Stadium, and it will be owned by MKE Sports and Entertainment, which is located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The Prospect League features two other Indiana teams, the Richmond River Rats and the Terre Haute Rex, which should provide for some interesting Hoosier rivalries. The City of Kokomo has signed a 5-year lease agreement with MKE Sports. They will pay the City of Kokomo a minimum $22,500 a year for the use of the stadium, with various incentives that could boost that total to over $100,000 per year. The lease will work like this. MKE Sports will be responsible for the maintenance of the stadium. They will pay the electric bill, the water bill, the gas bill, and other utilities, and also pay for trash removal and the care of the facility. Our four local high schools, Kokomo, Northwestern, Western, and Taylor, will call Kokomo Municipal Stadium home and will play there at absolutely free of cost. Each school will also continue to receive all revenue from their ticket sales. MKE Sports will manage the concessions, and since they will keep the revenue, there's an incentive for them to provide menu items that people want and keep things priced right. MKE Sports will also be responsible for filling seats, marketing the stadium, their games, and the team, all of which mentions Kokomo. As a result, we have a community partner which will help bring visitors to our city and overnight guests to our hotels by filling the stadium with tournaments, softball games, and other special events. They will use private dollars to promote our city and should help save the Convention Visitors and Tourism Bureau over $50,000 each and every year in sports marketing funds.
Construction is currently underway on the new 4,000-seat Kokomo Municipal Stadium that will host all of the team's home games. The Kokomo team will lease the stadium from the city and share responsibility for maintenance of the facility and grounds. It's time for First Friday. This arts-based open house tour of beautiful downtown Kokomo will possess an international flair with countries and cultures highlighted throughout the event. Meet international exchange students and learn about their home country. Have your name written in another language or learn to speak a phrase in another language. Try cuisine from Ireland, Mexico, and beyond. Have your photo taken as you try another culture's traditional clothing. Meet Peace Corps volunteers and Skype Live with a current volunteer in Macedonia. Bring your family and friends for this outstanding evening of fun, and be sure to catch the Bridges Outreach, Hog in the Block event, bounce in a bouncy house, take a stained glass window tour, listen to live music, and view art demonstrations and classic cars. Check them out on Facebook for more information. Last week, the Auburn Duesenberg Festival Tour came to Kokomo, and Kgov2 was there to learn more. We're at the Elwood Haynes Museum with the Auburn Duesenberg Festival Tour. Festival Hoosier Tour. That is quite a...
That's a mouthful.
Yes, it is. And we're here with Belva Myers. She's going to tell us a little bit about the tour and why you decided to come to Kokomo.
Well, the tour started 39 years ago as a promotion for events in Auburn over Labor Day weekend. Part of the ACD Club reunion and the ACD Festival developed from that. We came down here this year to visit some of the automotive heritage because the owners of these cars really appreciate not just their cars but automobiles in general and the heritage that they have. We knew about the opalescent glass factory and we're happy to be able to go through there also, and of course visited the Kokomo Automotive Museum.
And you guys are also going to visit a private collection too, which is quite an unusual treat.
Yes, we were very happy to be able to get in and see Bob Goldner's collection. He has some really nice and very interesting memorabilia that he's collected, some really nice cars. And so we're really excited about getting this private tour with him. And also we'll be going to Grissom Air Museum this afternoon with our cars.
Okay. And if you don't know, you guys are out of Auburn, Indiana, which is quite a big, right?
Auburn is a very big automotive museum with the heritage of the Auburn Cords and Duesenbergs. Duesenbergs were actually made in Indianapolis. Cords, a lot of them were made in Connersville, and then the Auburns mostly were made in Auburn from the early 1900s through the later 1930s. And the club started in the late 50s as a reunion of owners of these cars, and has really grown. We have a parade on Saturday of the cars from our city park to the downtown area where we park around the courthouse square, and it's our gift to the community to be able to see our cars on Saturday afternoon. There's a lot of other events going on as part of the festival, like Friday night will be open cruise-in of all types of cars. The ACD cars will be parked around the historic hotel downtown, but any type of car is welcome to come and join us on Saturday or Friday evening. And they have an ice cream social. We'll have live bands that evening, and also there'll be live bands on Saturday evening. So a lot going on in downtown Auburn. The museums have events, and of course there's auctions going on in Auburn as part of this weekend in the festival.
Well, that is fantastic, and even more fantastic for any car enthusiast. So thank you so much for choosing Kokomo and sharing in our automotive heritage.
Well, you're welcome. It's been a pleasure to be here. We've really enjoyed your community and are having a great time.
Have you heard about Kickstarter? It's a global crowdfunding platform based in the United States. The company's stated mission is to help bring creative projects to life. Kickstarter has reportedly received over $1 billion in pledges from 5.7 million donors to fund 135,000 projects, which include films, music, stage shows, comics, journalism, video games, and food-related projects. CogBots, a local company, has started a Kickstarter of their own. Let's take a look. Hi, we're here with Nan and David Braun of CogBots. And they are here today because they've created something that is going to be a Kickstarter. Well, first of all, I'd also like to let the public know that, there's a bunch of gears here, and I don't know if you see any similarities between these gears and the ones out front in our beautiful fountain, but David was the artist behind that. So that is a really cool thing to have you right here, and so the public knows.
Awesome, thanks. Well, like you were saying, CogBots is a local art studio, but in addition to being an art studio, we also manufacture, sell, and ship around the globe wooden kinetic parts. So kinetic means things that move. So lots of gears, but also things like tank tracks or camshafts or lots of different things, right? We ship them to schools, to artists, to all kinds of people. Kinetic art is really our passion, and we want to help other people learn how to do it and to enjoy it as well. One of the things that I know you've seen, like at KokomoCon and at several other events around locally, is Gear Lab, which 3 years ago was our first Kickstarter and went to the Detroit Maker Faire. And it's a really big table with lots of gears for people to make community-driven kinetic art. And one of the reactions we've always gotten was, man, I wish I had room at home for one of these, right? People hate to walk away and they want to keep playing with it, but it's big. So this spring, CogBots got busy in the design lab, and this summer we've been busy doing playtesting and prototyping, and we've come up with Gear Lab's little brother. And like you said, it's a Kickstarter, and it's actually an active Kickstarter right now. So through the 26th of September, we're taking orders for Gear Lab, and every order will help push our Kickstarter up and help us expand our manufacturing capability locally here in Kokomo, and build and ship Gear Labs hopefully all over the world.
If people want to order, how would they do that?
The only way to order it is through the Kickstarter. Okay. And the URL for the Kickstarter is a short URL, and it's bit.ly/GearLab Junior. That's a capital GEARLABJR. So easy to remember. So what you get is a board that you get to assemble, right? And you'll notice there's a little handle down here, and there's a target gear up here. And then you get a box full of gears that you can finish and paint any way that you like. And they have little shafts on them that fit nicely into the holes on the board, right? Okay. And it comes with a set of challenges. So we'll give you an example. I want you to take these gears and using exactly 13 gears, make a gear train, that is gears that all connect to each other, that will allow you to start at the crank and turn the target.
Okay, we'll count out 13 and see if I can
Without grinding gears.
Without grinding gears.
So one of the things that we've done is we're also building a community, and there's a WordPress site out there, and it's linked on the Kickstarter, and it's also linked on our website at CogBots.com.
Okay.
And so as people get their Gear Labs, they can join this community. They can put pictures up of the cool things that they create in the kinetic art that they make, or they can post challenges for other people. And so we're hoping to get a good exchange from all over the world of people coming up with new challenges for, can you do this with your Gear Lab Junior? You'll notice that there are also screws, holes on the edge of the board. And that's done so that you could take multiple boards and lay them side by side. And some of these gears, especially the bigger ones, are big enough that they would bridge over. Wow. So you get a couple of people together, or you buy a couple of boards, you could start to expand it and make it as big or small as you wanted to.
Okay, so it's definitely a multifunctional, it's learning, it's playing, it's art, and it really does, there's just something about spinning these gears that really literally gets the gears in your brain going. So now, what is your Kickstarter goal?
Well, our Kickstarter goal, the total goal is $57,000. And people were like, wow, that's a lot of money, isn't it? So part of the reason is we want to keep the manufacturing here locally.
Right.
And to do that, that means we need to buy some new equipment. So about half of that cost is expanding the equipment and keeping the manufacturing local.
Right.
The other half of that is it's going to take about 600 of these boards to make that goal. And the materials to cut and make all of this, we use a high quality plywood. So the materials themselves are expensive, and then there's shipping included in that as well. So shipping and materials are more than half of what we're trying to raise in this.
Okay. Well, and I just think this is fantastic. This is local people with a local project that will be locally made, you know.
Absolutely.
I can't say local enough. And
but
you guys
globally, right? We already have a backer from Denmark. So if this Kickstarter becomes successful, which, you know, we're confident we can make that happen, then we'll have things made here in Kokomo, shipped to Denmark, to Europe. I mean, we already ship gears to artists in Australia. So we're exporting Kokomo all the time.
Okay. And if people are interested in CogBots, where can they check you guys out at?
CogBots.com or CogBots on Facebook.
Okay, great. Check out their Kickstarter or check out their pages and see what they're all about. It's a really great thing. And now it's time for Now You Know. Did you know that Kokomo's Industrial Heritage Trail is more than just a bike path? It's a walk through history, complete with art that depicts the rich industry that once was here. The Industrial Heritage Trail begins on US 931 near where the old Damon's building used to be. Throughout the trail there are several historical markers. This one here is of the Kokomo Rubber Tire Company. We're at the corner of Markland and Main, and it gives a brief history of the building. It says the first pneumatic rubber tire was invented by David C. Spraker in October of 1894. The tire consisted of strips of 3-ply rubber canvas and other wrappings of vulcanized rubber formed around a slender pole. These give great detail of the history of the buildings that once were here. So let's see what we can find next. Here we walked not even 25 yards away from the last marker, and we've already ran into an art in progress. As you can see, the gas tower, Big Ben. It's really fantastic to see the art that is growing through the Industrial Heritage Trail. So let's see what we find on our next adventure. Still heading north on the trail, we've run across a mural of metal workers, which takes it all back to the industrial part of the Industrial Heritage Trail. We've just crossed Union Street and ran into yet another historical marker. This marker concerns these two buildings that you see behind me, and I'll read you the marker. The Haynes Automobile Company. The Haynes Automobile Company is pictured shortly after construction of a spacious new building and an adjoining bridge in 1921. You can see the pictures on this marker too, which is great. The neighboring railroad tracks allowed for easy shipment of goods needed for the production of America's first car. The company, run by Elwood Haynes, sold up to 6,000 in 1922, but declined and liquidated in 1924 due to a nationwide recession. The factory buildings were later purchased by the Chrysler Corporation. As I keep walking, there just keeps being more to discover. I'm in front of the site of Kokomo Opalescent Glass, which has been open since 1888 and is America's oldest glass company. We're going to keep on this adventure, but there's one thing I wanted to show. We're getting ready to cross the Industrial Heritage Trail, and as you can see, the city has installed new pedestrian height stop signs that are also the right height for bicyclists to make sure that you stay safe. We've only explored a small section of the Industrial Heritage Trail, and we're going to leave the rest of the exploring up to you. We've stopped here at Duesenberg Street, which is a great place for families to stop and gather. Here is another historical marker about Delco Radio Plant and Lake Erie and Western Railroads. The Delco Radio Plant division began manufacturing operations in Kokomo in this plant formerly owned by Crosley Manufacturing Company and produced the first radio to be installed in the automobile. This one talks about this photograph. It says, taken in 1915, a view of Superior Machine Tool Company, Kokomo Nail and Brad Company, Kokomo Spring Company, with the Lake Erie and Western Railroad tracks to the left and Home Avenue paralleling the tracks. It's so great that we have this trail, and it's even better that we can go on a walk through history. And it's the industrial history that gives us our rich heritage. So, in case you didn't know that the Industrial Heritage Trail is more than just a bike trail, now you know. And now for your 5-day forecast. Tuesday, sun and clouds mixed, high of 81, low of 63. Wednesday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 84 and a low of 72. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed with a high of 88 and a low of 61. Friday, scattered thunderstorms in the morning, then mainly cloudy during the afternoon with thunderstorms likely. A high of 87 and a low of 53. Saturday, cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy in the afternoon with a high of 72 and a low of 53. Thank you for watching News Brief. For Kgov2 and the City of Kokomo, I'm April Thatcher. For more local daily news, be sure to tune in to Indiana Talks Radio for news on the hour. And now for your community calendar.